In my last budget speech, I had promised annualized saving of rupees 3,000 crores to be achieved by the third year on energy. I am happy to announce that the target will be achieved in the next financial year itself, a year earlier than envisaged. For the first time, we leveraged provisions of the Electricity Act to procure power directly at competitive rates using our status as deemed distribution licenses. Power procurement contracts already signed and implemented will mean an annualized saving of rupees 1,300 crores. Further actions to source power already initiated will deliver annualized saving of 1,700 crores during the coming year, taking the total to rupees 3,000 crores. In addition, the saving of rupees 300 crores is being targeted through demand-side management and energy efficiency. Locomotives with auxiliary load are now being manufactured by us. Use of these locos will enable elimination of power cars, thereby replacing them with passenger coaches, which will enhance the carrying capacity of train and significantly reduce the travel time, noise level, fuel consumption, and carbon footprint. 4 such locos have been turned in the current financial year, and another 39 are expected in the next year. Rail University is an important enabler to build sustained flow of skilled manpower, a prime requisite for any world-class railway system. We identified the National Academy of Indian Railways at Vadodara as a first institution which will be upgraded to a full-fledged university. Preparations are in full swing to establish the university during this year. As an organization, we cannot progress on the path of prosperity unless the path is digitally illuminated. This year, an application of tax management system was launched. With this, activities of tax inspection, monitoring and maintenance has thus been switched over to an IT platform. And automatic alerts in the form of SMS and emails are being generated. Inventory management module of TMS has resulted in inventory reduction of 27,000 metric ton, resulting in a saving of 64 crores, and scrap identification of 22,000 metric ton, equivalent to 53 crores. During this year, the system will be implemented throughout the railway network. We have developed an application for maintaining centralized land data and records of all land holding that we have now been digitized. As I move on to illustrate the new initiative, let me take a step back. One of the thrust areas of last year's budget was giving passengers better services and making railway journeys enjoyable. We will continue to build on this momentum and strive hard to ensure satisfaction of each of the 7 billion passengers that ride railways network annually. Ours is a common man's government, working tirelessly for the benefit of all, especially farmers, workers, women, disabled and the impoverished. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is not just a slogan for us, it pervades all our thoughts and actions. Every customer is our brand ambassador, the very reasons of our existence. Therefore, each time that he or she travels, the satisfaction quotient must go up. In pursuance of making each of our customers happy, I propose to take the following measures. For the unreserved passengers, we'll start, this is a new product, not a train. This will be there all over. Antyodaya Express and Deen Dayalu coaches. This government truly believes that the fate of India would not change unless the lives of the common man or woman improve. Not only he or she is a center point of policy making, but is ubiquitous to our public discourse and in our ideology. We propose to introduce Antyodaya Express, a long-distance, fully unreserved superfast train service for the common man to be operated on dense routes. We will also add 2 or 4 Deen Dayalu coaches in some long-distance trains for unreserved travel to enhance our carrying capacity for the masses. These coaches will also have facility for potable drinking water and higher number of mobile charging points. For the reserved passengers, we are starting 3 new products: Humsafar, Tejas and Uday. I am announcing 3 telex services to ensure cost recovery by way of tariff and non-tariff measures. Humsafar would be fully air-conditioned third AC service with an optional service for meals. Tejas, on the other hand, will showcase the future of train travel in India, operating at a speed of 130 kilometers per hour and above. It will offer onboard services such as entertainment, local cuisine, Wi-Fi, etc. through one service provider for ensuring accountability and improved customer satisfaction. We will also introduce overnight double-decker Uday Express on the busiest route which has the potential to increase carrying capacity by almost 40%. To continue the efforts in minimizing waiting time for passengers at booking windows, we intend to commence sale of tickets through handheld terminals for the benefit of the suburban and short-distance travelers. This should enable us to deploy multiple point of sales with minimum infrastructure. We also intend initiating sale of platform tickets through ticket vending machine, which will be made compatible with not only cash but also credit and debit cards. In the next 3 months, we'll open the e-ticketing facility for foreign debit and credit card holders, particularly for the foreign tourists and the NRIs. For our journalist friends, we will provide e-booking of tickets on the concessional passes available to them. This has been a long pending request, and it is my privilege to provide them with this service, hoping that they will cover it better. Cancellation of PRS tickets requires a passenger to travel to a booking window to avail the refund within a prescribed time. This is a source of great discomfort. We will now open the facility of cancellation through the 139 helpline, post-verification using one-time password sent to registered phone members. We will introduce barcoded tickets, scanners and access control on a pilot basis on major stations to tackle the menace of ticketless travel and ensure hassle-free travel for the genuine passengers. We have taken a number of measures to improve service during the morning Tatkal hours, yet there are complaints of rightful passengers being denied train tickets. We therefore intend to progressively ensure CCTV coverage at all Tatkal counters. We plan to institutionalize a system of third-party periodic audits and certification of security features of the PRS website so it cannot be hacked. The Vikalp, Alternative Train Accommodation System scheme, introduced in October 2015, will be expanded to provide choice of accommodation in specific trains to wait-listed passengers. This has been a great response from the people, and we want to increase it. Taking forward the momentum on Swachh Rail, Swachh Bharat, we intend taking a string of measures to improve the cleaner stations and trains. Introducing Clean My Coach service, which is already there, on pan-India basis, where a passenger can request cleaning of the coach or a toilet on a demand through SMS, so that instantly the service will be provided. Ranking of A1 and A-class stations based on a regular periodic third-party audit and feedback from passengers. Setting up of a waste segregation and recycling centers at A1 category station in a phased manner. 5 centers to be commissioned in the next financial year itself. Undertaking awareness campaign, installing additional 30,000 bio-toilets, providing portable structures with bio-toilets at all platforms for select stations for senior citizens, Divyang and women. Catering has been one of the main issues and also source of satisfaction as well as complaint. Catering has been an important parameter for customer satisfaction. In pursuit of our objective, to provide quality food to customers, the following measures are taken. IRCTC would begin to manage catering services in a phased manner. IRCTC will unbundle catering services by creating a distinction primarily between food preparation and food distribution. Extending e-catering service from the existing 45 large stations to all 408 A1 and A-class stations. Explore the possibility of making mandatory catering service optional in train. Local cuisine of choice will be made available to the passengers. Adding 10 more IRCTC operated mechanized sophisticated base kitchen to ensure fresh and hygienic supply of food on train. Mandating third-party audit in order to ensure desired level of quality in catering services. Introducing a new policy of multi-purpose as against existing single-purpose stalls at stations where each stall can provide multiple services required by passengers, including milk products and OTC medicines. Enforcing reservation in catering unit to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, women, Divyang, etc. We will also introduce a sub-quota of 33% for women in each of the reserved category. Further, to build local ownership and employment, a process of giving weightage to district domicile holders for commercial licenses at stations will be initiated, as you have seen in the past, that one contractor could tap all the stalls. We are going to be also using all the technical halls as commercial halls on the long distance train. We have introduced Sarthi Seva in Konkan Railway to help the old and disabled passengers requiring assistance at stations. We will expand this service at many more stations. We will strengthen the existing service for enabling passengers to book battery-operated cars, porter services on a paid basis in addition to the existing pick-up and drop and wheelchair services. For the Divyang, and with the objective of Accessible India campaign, we will ensure that all stations under redevelopment are accessible to Divyang. We will make efforts to provide at least one Divyang-friendly toilet in each platform in A1 class station during this financial year and the next financial year, and also ensure availability of wheelchairs in sufficient numbers at these stations. There is a continuous effort on our part to ensure safe and secure travel for our passengers. Yet untoward incidents occur. To minimize the financial loss to passengers from such events, we are working with insurance companies to offer optional travel insurance for rail journeys at the time of booking itself. Passengers transiting in our network now could book on hourly basis the retiring rooms that are available. Madam, we are starting a Janani Seva. We would like to mitigate the hardship that mothers undergo while traveling with their infants, and for that purpose, we will pilot availability of children's menu items on train. Further, baby foods, hot milk and hot water would be made available on stations, and changing boards for babies would be provided in train toilets. With a view to enhancing passenger comfort, we are planning to reimagine the design and layout of our coaches to ensure higher carrying capacity, provision of new amenities including automatic doors, barcoded readers, bio-vacuum toilets, water level indicators, accessible dustbins, ergonomic seating, improved aesthetics, vending machines, entertainment screens, LED lit boards for the advertising, public announcement system and more. These new smart coaches would cater to emerging needs of our customers and to also ensure lower unit cost of operation due to higher carrying capacity. Presently, there are different digital solutions for ticketing, grievance redressal and other issues. We intend to integrate all such facilities into 2 mobile apps only, one dealing with ticketing issues and other on redressal and suggestion system. Bharatiya Rail is persistently innovating to ensure responsiveness to customer requirement in all our actions. Toward this end, we are making arrangements for skilling our front-ended staff, those we employ through service providers. The uniforms of all customer-facing roles will be refurbished to clearly distinguish them on our network. We will install information boards in trains enumerating onboard service, also GPS-based digital displays inside coaches to provide real-time information regarding upcoming halts. This service will be provided through private sector engagement. Work is underway on installation of a high-tech centralized network of 20,000 screens across 2,000 stations known as Rail Display Network. This will enable real-time flow of information to passengers and also unlock huge advertising potential. We intend to strengthen the organization at the stations with a view to ensuring better passenger amenities, vigilant and sensitive customer service, responsive grievance redressal system. All A1 stations will now be manned with a duly empowered station directors supported by cross-functional teams who will run the station as excellence center for customers. We will also make one person accountable for all facilities on a train. The great places of pilgrimage in India have a natural attraction for the Indian traveller. We intend taking up on priority the provision of passenger amenities and beautification on stations at pilgrimage center, including, and not all but including Ajmer, Amritsar, Bihar Sharif, Chenganur, Dwarka, Gaya, Haridwar, Mathura, Nagapattinam, Nanded, Nasik, Pali, Parshanath, Puri, Tirupati, Vailanakani, Varanasi and Vasco. We also intend to run Asta circuit trains to connect important pilgrimage centers. Last year, I had announced development of satellite terminals at a few locations. We take the next level to have several more. I appeal to all states to come forward and to partner with us in line with more. This will help us to provide many more services to the people, so I request all the partners. Porters play a key role in making our journeys comfortable. We intend providing them with a new uniforms and train them for soft skills in line with the evolving image of railway. Adopting modern technology, yet traditional in its ethos, also explore methods of offering them group insurance facility. Henceforth, we will be happy to call them as Sahayak. So they will not be called as Kuli, they will be called as Sahayak. The high-speed passenger corridor from Ahmedabad to Mumbai is being undertaken with assistance from the government of Japan. A special purpose vehicle for implementing high-speed projects is being registered this month. The prime benefit of this project will be providing us with technology advancement and new manufacturing capability, which will be leveraged for all other areas of the existing network. We propose to invite FM radio stations for providing train-borne entertainment by installing PS systems in trains. Bilingual onboard magazine Rail Bandhu, which is available in Shatabdi, Rajdhani and Duronto, would be extended to all reserved classes of travellers in all mail express trains. We'll also initiate publishing Rail Bandhu in all regional languages. Mumbai is the financial capital of India and needs a robust transport system. However, the suburban railway system in lifeline of the city is overstressed. In principal approval of MUTP-3 has just been received from NITI Aayog to move forward. We are working towards achieving the financial closure and early award of tenders for 2 elevated suburban corridors between Churchgate and Virar and Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus to Panvel. The Panvel CSTM Panvel corridor will be integrated with metro lines being planned by the state government for connecting existing Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport and proposed Navi Mumbai International Airport. We intend to raise all low-level platforms in Mumbai suburban station in the ensuing financial year to address safety concerns on this account. In Kolkata, we have ongoing metro works of around 100 kilometers, which when completed would quadruple the installed capacity. I have resolved all issues related to East-West corridor at Kolkata Metro, and I am happy to announce that phase 1 of this project would be completed by June 2018. We are working on the possibility of extending the East-West corridor by another 5 kilometers. Delhi, our national capital, is under severe stress from rising pollution level and can be provided relief by reviving the ring railway system comprising of 21 stations. We will partner with the state government to develop this infrastructure. We intend to undertake major programs to build an integrated suburban ecosystem for railways by launching a new investment framework. We would share equity contribution with the state governments and ensure cost neutrality on operations. We will come out with a detailed policy in this regard in the next 4 months. We intend to partner with the state governments of Gujarat, Telangana, Tamil Nadu for development of suburban sections in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai, respectively, by deploying innovative financing mechanisms. Bengaluru, the technology hub of the country, warrants comprehensive suburban system. We will partner with the state government in this endeavor. Similar structures of financing mechanism will be created for Thiruvananthapuram, the capital of God's own country, Kerala. I appeal to the state government, and this is a very serious issue, I appeal to all the state governments to work towards staggering of office timing to reduce the peak load on suburban traffic and also avoid accident. Let me turn to traffic, 2/3 of the revenue. Winning back the lost model share. We have lost a lot of it over the years. Freight traffic. The model share of Indian Railway has been consistently declining over a long period of time. This trend has had a negative impact not only on the railways, but on the entire economy. We are determined to reverse this slide. There are 3 solutions for this issue. Expanding the freight basket, rationalizing the tariff structure, and building terminal capacity. The freight basket is dominated by 10 bulk commodities, which enjoy a share of 88%. We need to look beyond this to expand the revenue base. A full-fledged market study is being undertaken, and on the basis of this, we'll make sure that we recapture the asset. And we are already working on the scenarios, service level, infrastructure requirement, and action plan is being created to recapture the traffic through either containerization of new delivery models or on roll-off will be developed and implemented. Network capacity limitations do not allow us to run timetable freight trains. But from this year, we will start a timetable freight, container, parcel and special commodity trains on a pilot basis. Container sector would be open to all traffic barring coal and specified mineral ones, and part loads will be permitted during the non-peak season. All existing terminal sheds would be granted access to container traffic where considered feasible. The current tariff structure has led to outpricing of our services in the freight market. A review of tariff policy will be undertaken to evolve a comprehensive rate structure vis-à-vis other modes, permit multi-point loading, and apply differentiated tariff to increase utilization of alternate routes. The possibility of signing long-term tariff contracts with our key freight customers using predetermined price escalation principles will be explored, which will provide predictability of revenues to us and costs to our customers. Inadequate warehousing and transportation is also one of the causes that keep potential customers away from us. In order to complete the chain of transportation, it is proposed to develop rail-side logistic parks and warehousing. These logistic parks and warehouses would be created in PPP mode to bring the required efficiency and investment, but also attract greater traffic to the railways. With the coming in of transport logistic company, we will be witness to a paradigm shift in our role as a national logistic provider. The focus will be on providing last mile connectivity for freight business at reduction in logistic cost. At least 10 goods sheds will be developed by Transloc in this year, next current year, financial year, 16-17. To capture the automobile traffic, we'll soon inaugurate India's first rail auto hub in Chennai, probably in next few days itself. This push on rail side warehousing would also encourage development of cold storage facilities on vacant land near freight terminals. Local farmers and fishermen would be given preferential usage to this facility. A policy of this regard will be issued in the next 3 months. We will appoint key customer managers to liaison with our major freight stakeholders. They would serve as a single point of contact for all communication and redressal with these key customers. Each zonal railway will develop a customer commitment charter indicating service level commitments to passengers and freight customers. We will explore the feasibility of leasing of general purpose wagons, which was today restricted. Although we enjoy the highest captive eyeballs in a railway system globally, we earn less than 5% of our revenues through non-tariff sources. Many of the world railway systems generate anywhere between 10, 20%, even 30% of the revenues from this source. Over a period of next 5 years, we will strive to reach this world average by monetizing assets and undertaking other revenue-building activities. We have already begun this exercise with a fervor. A major program of station redevelopment has been initiated, which I am sure will convert these huge resources into commercial exploitation of vacant land and space rights for station building. Monetizing land along track is an important issue which we are doing. We will lease out this space to promote horticulture and tree plantation. This will encourage employment to underprivileged sections, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, etc., augment our food security and also prevent encroachment of railway land. Possibility of using this track for generating solar energy will also be explored. Monetizing soft assets. We collect data pertaining to passenger preferences, ticketing patterns, commodity flows, train running, and information on various service and operations. We are exploring the possibility of monetizing our data software and some of these free services provided by us, such as P&A inquiry, currently being commercially exploited by other players, but at the same time ensuring that no compromise to the customer privacy is made. IRCTC website also offers opportunities for exploring e-commerce activities on account of the large number of hits that it receives. We have vast physical infrastructure which is ripe for commercial exploitation through advertising. We intend to give special focus to exploring advertising potential, trains, stations and land adjacent to track outside the big station. We will make effort to use customer interfacing assets every manner possible for earning advertising revenue. We will evolve models to determine the revenue potential of at least 20 stations in the next 3 months. In all, we target to increase advertising revenues by more than 4 times in the current revenue. The parcel business needs to be liberalized, and the current parcel policy, including opening the sector to container train operators, to effect a quantum jump in the share of courier, express and parcel market. Door-to-door connectivity, especially important for this market segment, and will take all necessary steps to do this, especially by growing e-commerce business and booking parcel online basis. Manufacturing activity also needs to be properly unlocked, and we are railways to become a meaningful player in the domestic and international market. By 2020, we should aim at generating an annualized revenue of about 4,000 crores by providing these units with necessary empowerment and incentive to realize this target. To ensure participation of large professional players, we have already moved to EPC-based contracting last year. I am happy to announce that we have finalized the standard document for undertaking works through EPC mode, and this will be done, which will be saving at least all contracts, about 300 crores will be on this basis. Private parties on a non-operational area, they are working with us. We intend to look at the contract to make sure that this contract management is to the global standard. In line with international best practices, we will rely on technological solutions for project management and monitoring. It is intended to use the latest drone and geospatial-based satellite technology for remotely reviewing the physical progress across major projects. In the next financial year, this should be operationalized for monitoring the progress of dedicated freight corridor. Our policies are led to piecemeal approach in IT. We already initiated a system for enterprise resource system, which will bring in innovative partnership and will revamp our entire railway system using the new ERP model. It is pertinent to have an independent regulation mechanism to enable fair pricing of services, promote competition, protect customer interest, and determine efficiency standards. I had announced last year creation of Rail Development Authority. We hope to have the draft bill ready after holding extensive consultation, and I am sure my friends in opposition also will cooperate. And the independence of the institution is sought to be ensured by way of transparent and streamlined selection process and keeping arm's length from the Ministry of Railways. A new beginning has to be made, and therefore we are also working on organizational restructuring. A departmental orientation, absence of cross-functional collaboration, and lack of business focus has held back the Bharatiya Rail from realizing the commanding heights that is capable of doing it. The solution to this lies in reorienting the working of the organization toward a common corporate goal. I propose to reorganize the railway board along the business lines and suitably empower chairman to lead the organization effectively. As a first step, cross-functional directorates will be set up within the board to focus on areas like non-fare revenue, speed enhancement, motive power, and information technology. We will explore the possibility of unifying cadres for fresh recruitment of officers. We will also strengthen the PPP cell. Railway Planning and Investment Organization is being created with the funds available for development and revitalizing the existing infrastructure. It is most pertinent that they are invested in the right manner. So this organization will prepare a 5-year plan, 10 years perspective plan, and they will be preparing detailed project reports and also look at the financing option. National Rail Plan. In order to provide long-term perspective to planning for augmenting the railway network, we have decided to develop a National Rail Plan in consultation with all the stakeholders, including state governments, public representatives, and other relevant ministries. The plan will endeavour to harmonize and integrate the rail network with other modes of transport and create synergy for achieving seamless multimodal transportation network across the country. This will also achieve our Prime Minister's vision of integrated planning and cost optimization of the transportation network, laying the new railway lines, highways, tunnels, and mega bridges. The companies owned by the railways are in assets with immense potential. We propose to examine the feasibility of creating a holding company so that all these assets can be properly monetized. For ensuring delivery of quality services to its customers, we need to equip with modern and cutting-edge technology. Priority areas of high-speed rail, heavy, etc. So therefore, to make sure that all these priority areas are addressed, we are working on a foreign rail technology cooperation scheme. We are setting up a new R&D organization, a special railway strategic technology and holistic advancement called SRESTA. RDSO will now focus only on day-to-day issues, while SRESTA will drive a long-term research. Data-backed decision-making is a hallmark of great institution, and therefore we collect almost 100 terabytes of data every year, yet it is hardly analyzed. So we are creating special unit Transportation Research and Analytic Unit, which will look into all the issues, and professional analysts will actually work on that. We are setting aside a sum of 50 crores for providing innovation grants to employ startups and growth-oriented small businesses to support internal and external innovation. On an annualized basis, we will seek out solutions to some of the most critical problems and challenges that we face. This will be chaired by a committee of reputed investors, National Academy of Indian Railways, Railway Board and Kayakalp headed by Sri Ratan Tata. This year, we already talked about 3 areas for research: accessibility to trains from low-level platform, increasing capacity of coaches, and digital capabilities at stations. There has been a long-felt need for developing test track for expeditious testing of prototypes under this. So we already started working on that. Madam, to make this happen, we are launching 7 missions. And each mission will be headed by a mission director, reporting directly to the chairman Railway Board. We will undertake the following mission. One of these is Mission 25 Ton. To realize the goal of revenue enhancement, a critical step in the direction is to making our infrastructure for 25-ton axle load. It is proposed to introduce 20% freight loading through 25-ton axle load wagons in 2016-17 itself, and target movement of 70% of freight traffic in high axle load by year 1920. Mission Zero Accident. Elimination of unmanned level crossing, which constitutes to 68% of the deaths and 40% of our accident. This crossing also lead to drop. So we are creating a new mission to work on that. The second mission for zero accident is to train collision avoidance system. This will also result into making sure that all 100% of the high density network will be put with this device in the next 3 years. Procurement and consumption efficiency. To capture the quality of goods and services, we need to bring in our procurement practice in line with international best practice. And for doing that, vendor management, inventory, direct procurement of high-speed diesel, we are actually working on this, which will result into a minimum saving of 1,500 crores in the year 16-17. The mission, which is also launched to complement Mission 25 Ton, would be Mission Rafatar, which will target doubling average speeds of freight train and increasing average speed of superfast mail train in the next 5 years. Mission 100, 85% of our traffic originates from private sidings and freight terminals. There are more than 400 proposals under various stages of approval. In the next 2 years, we will commission at least 100 sidings. The current siding PFT policy will be revised to make sure that these 100 new private sidings are put into place. Mission Beyond Bookkeeping, which I said last year, that we don't want to work only on changing from single entry to double entry, from cash to accrual, but going beyond it to ensure that we have a further step in external accounting system where outcomes can be tagged to input. This is already under implementation, and I'm happy to say that we will be able to bring in the mission mode in the next few years. The 2 dedicated freight corridors are scheduled to be commissioned in 2019. This would create a new mission to ensure that is also implemented. We are putting them under the mission mode. Madam, I am happy to say that we have a workforce which is sincere and dedicated. It is my constant endeavor to improve their working conditions so that they continue to serve the organization with dedication. We will tie up with the Ministry of Health for ensuring an exchange between railway hospital and government hospital. We will introduce IU scheme in 5 railway hospitals. All our gangmen will be provided with a device called Rakshak, which will be wireless enabled and will intimate them about the approaching train. We will also reduce the weight of these tools carried by them while patrolling on foot. We will also provide toilets and air conditioning to cabs for our loco pilots. For a youth bubbling with ideas and energy, 100 students across engineering and MBA schools for 2 to 6 months internship will be taken by us every year. In partnership with skill development, we are also developing a lot of new skill development programs. Social leadership had appealed to various NGOs, and therefore now we are working on self-help groups, not only to provide employment to women, but also to respect the images. We are working with NABARD to provide support and access to all the self-help group products which we marketed through this. We also work with KVIC to provide 17 lakh mandates of job. In the next few years, we will work on environmental issues in a significant way. There are water harvesting programs which are already launched. We also launched the sweepers and steel bridges to avoid this. To take forward a Prime Minister's vision of 1,000 solar power will be generated by us in the next few years, we already launched this program. Madam, in order to encourage active establishment by various railway establishments, we are already working on environment shield. Tourism holds a great future and we are also working on that. Madam, the railway start setup is a reflection of everything that is India. It imbibes the ethos, morals, values and ethics of a great country. It represents the tireless spirit, eternal hope, aspirations, perseverance, determination and a never-ending enthusiasm for a dynamic country. Whoever said that India Railway is a way of life could not have been more appropriate. Madam, I begin my speech by stating that we had set out on a journey last year, the journey of transforming Bharatiya Rail. We have achieved significant progress in all aspects and we will now want to work more. Even as the journey continues, I am reminded of Gautam Buddha who said that whenever one contemplates a journey, there are two mistakes one can make, not starting and not going all the way. We already started the journey and I intend to go all the way and will not rest till we take Bharatiya Rail to a destination called Samruddhi or success. With these words, Madam Speaker, I commend the railway budget to the August.